Hello, this is Bounty Hunter 11355 coming to you live, coming to you loud and clear. This is also my buddy right here. My buddy is Diplocalis. This is Deli Diplocalis right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk to you about some gig work and what we do here as the bounty hunters here in New York City. What we do, all right? What he does, what I do. We go out there and we try and make ends meet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a rough world we live in. What we end up doing, we end up trying to make ends meet by doing any means necessary, by doing various deals, by various ways, to try and make that bread. Like he says on the back of his outfit, it says "get," unless he's in the way. Get that bread, as you can see. Get that bread. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy here, he's a hard worker. Don't let his size fool you. He can deliver anything. All right, even got this volcano suit ready to go and face whatever challenges might face. Deliver in a volcano, no problem. Deliver underwater, no problem. Deep space, well, if deep space is real, he'd be able to deliver out to it. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy here, Deli Diplocalis, to be your best friend. I just want to share with you some of the things that happened this week in my adventures. We're going to stop right here for now. Thank you.
First floor lobby. Going up.
Have a good night.
Hey Gina, guess what happened to Greg?
What happened to Greg?
Well, he got fired from the job.
Fired from the job? That's unfortunate. Wait a second. Doesn't he start tomorrow?
Yeah, he's supposed to start tomorrow. But they had to get the stuff for the background check. They need like a passport and everything. And so what happened was that his passport is expired, and then there's that naturalization paper thing that's it takes like a year to get it. If you lost it or something, you can't find it.
Yeah, I've heard about those things. It's pretty much impossible to get a new one. It's a 555. No, actually, it's $555.
So yeah, so they gave him until about Friday. But then just looking at how things goes, it's not gonna be able to work. So they says, you know what, you're fired. So he got fired.
Hey, do you think he can collect unemployment?
I don't think so.
Today is the 29th of February 29th, 2024. It's a leap year. The only day of the year that doesn't exist every 4 years, but every other 3 years between the 4 years. But this day is not hypoxia. This day is actually the leap year, and my kids are right now making a really cool cake called leap year cake. And so, because of that, we're able to have a really wonderful time of having cake on an imaginary day that exists only 4 years. So if you add up all the totals of, I'm not even going to do the math because it's pointless at this point, but for the most part, I just want to tell you some of the things that happened this week, some of the cool things that have happened to me this week. Now, many of you have heard from my gremlin friends, pretty much my gremlin friends over here, that what happened, we have Gina, and also we have my boy Argus over here. They were talking about this situation that happened and what's going on with regards to my job with the airport and things. I went to get a job at the airport and I wasn't able to get it because the situation happened where my see pretty much my passport's expired, and because my passport's expired, they didn't want to fix your glasses real quick, girl. What happened? The passport's expired, and because of that, wasn't able to get the job or even begin to do the background check, which would have been easy for us to do because I have pretty much a clean background, nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna take off our glasses real quick so that you can actually see. But for the most part, though, we have issues with our glasses. And here's Argus, and here's Gina. Switch hands real quick. All right, cool. So here's Argus, and here's Gina. Long story short, what happens is with these with the situations that happened is my scenario and things I've been going through has been that trying to find a job with regards to W-2 because of the bounty hunting has been kind of been fickle and small of which of late, and so because of that, you kind of have this scenario where you're just kind of like faced with what do you do? What's the situation? How do you do it? Right? What are you going to do next? So pretty much you do several things. If you're going to get a W-2 job, you're going to be able to not be doing all the cool bounty hunting that you did before. And instead, you're going to be faced with, things like where you're going to have to just pretty much, be there from 9 to 5 or whatever the time is to be able to, do your work and be all about that. So for the most part, though, one of the things I think about is interesting is you have it where, the scenario is you have to just either you accept the job and you do what they say, but in this situation I can't because my passport's expired, so I have to wait for that to be renewed. And the other one too is my naturalization papers because I am a citizen of the United States. And what happens is that my find my paperwork. My mom knows where they were, but if you know what happened to my mom, then pretty much understand why it's hard for me to contact her to find it because she's not on plan anymore. So long story short, she's not here. So I talked with my dad, and he doesn't know where those papers are either. So for the most part, though, I have to wait, or that'd be a closed door for that job. So that's something there I have to really consider. Anyway, one of the things too is in regards to some of the things that we've been going through as doing our artwork and stuff, we have been able to be part of many different things. And I'm really glad for the fact that when you have opportunities to do stuff, you can do a lot of wonderful things regarding your art. So, for example, we can go ahead and we went to art gallery and we were able to she was actually part of we won third place at the art gallery, which is really great to know that there's a art gallery that would accept our work, and so I love our work, and so really like this. So this is Gina. Gina was really really happy to be part of such a cool artwork, and so she really liked that. So she was just enjoying the whole process of it all. So yeah, that's something there. And then the other one too is Argus has also been a really cool place where you can actually be able to have him there at the art gallery. So we do birthday parties, and I thought the kids would be afraid of him, but people actually really like him because he's just, I guess, just the colors and stuff and just everything about him is just really kind of fun. So everybody likes that. So that's something there. Anyway, so I'm gonna see if I can show you some of the cool stuff that we've done. I'm gonna show you a long play video here, and I'm going to tell you a quick story as I go through it. This here, my friend, is a long play story. I don't want to spoil it too quick. Let me see if I can go ahead back to the beginning. I can't really. All right, so what I'm going to do is go here. Oh, that's what happens. I forgot what I was doing there. Okay, so let's go ahead and rewind it. Okay, so this long play story is about 5 minutes, so I'm going to see if I can do the story real quick for you and tell you all the details about how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, what happens when you do gig work and you're out there doing gig work, or you're doing work with DoorDash or roadie? In the case I'm doing roadie as well, I found it to be an actually interesting thing because you get a chance to go and be free. You have freedom to do stuff. You get a chance to be free to go ahead and do your artwork and be part of something really great. So what happens is when you're going through your scenarios, you get a chance to actually be out there and get orders. So of late, there's been a lot of things going on. If it's not fixing the car or dealing with car issues, it's dealing with just pretty much not having any orders. So what happens is last year was my big thing was fixing the car and just dealing with the whole thing with the car being fixed. This year has to be a lot of lines of just not having that many orders. So one of the things about not having that many orders is that you kind of at the mercy of the situation of what do you do? Do you stay or do you go? Do you stay or do you continue to wait for what's the next thing that's coming down the line? Do you wait for that, or do you just pretty much, just say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna call it quits for the day. I'm only gonna do so much, or is it one of those things where you're gonna hang in there and endure? And see, I'm kind of the person I like to endure. I like to go through a lot of just to be there no matter the situation, kind of endure the hardship as a good soldier, like the Bible says. But what happens is that when you're going through the scenarios, your time is essence and very important. You don't want to waste any of your time because, that's your life and you're not going to get that back. I mean, you can get money back, you can go get another job to get more money and things like that, but to go and get more time in your life is really difficult to do that. So what happens, we do this, and so many of us do multi-apping, and so trying to find a way for us to actually get into a situation where we can multi-app and bring more money through another way. But that requires you knowing a different app and dealing with the fact that you're going to have to deal with something that you've never been dealt with before, and their procedures and their timings and things like that too. So you have to kind of like learn and acquiesce and all those things that require you to have to be able to think and focus and put it all together as to what you're going to do next. So that's one thing there. Next thing too is knowing that you can just get a regular job like I was trying to, and I wasn't able to get one because there's some kind of requirements that are needed. You go to different places, and some countries don't care. Some countries don't care how to get in, but some companies really do care about what you do when you get here. And I've been a citizen since I was a little kid, and I've been able to work, and I have my W-2s and all that, and my income tax forms and my Social Security, and I thought that would be enough, but apparently that is not enough. So one of the things you have to deal with now is dealing with competition. You have to deal with competition and having your stuff up to date. Make sure your papers are up to date, because if they're not up to date, somebody else will come along and they'll take your stuff and be able to mess with you a little bit there. And so you have to be able to make sure that your stuff is taken care of. And make sure your stuff is up to date. If you're not up to date, they'll make sure that I don't know why they didn't just take me in and let me get it later, but I guess it's because of the background check. Maybe that's why it is. They want to just make sure that I am who I say I am. Pretty much. Anyway, long story short, that's one. It was one of the drivers this week. Her name was Toya. Said something about like the mental health of a driver. Now, a driver has to deal with so many things. Like in this picture here, he's dealing with tickets, but for the most part, though, he's dealing with tickets and orders and having to wait for orders. My Diplocaulus creature here, that I have him there in the story. I have him also here. Here he is as well. But I changed up his thing on the back. He's called Bounty Hunter, Say No to AI, and Fight the Bots. So this is pretty much what it's going to be in the future, fighting the bots. So in the case with him, he's pretty much having to go through all these scenarios and deal with all these different things. And one of the things he has to deal with is dealing with the bots. Now, see, what the bots are is like that's when they have these algorithms. Like, see, we have an app to help us to work. Well, there's apps to help people to snatch all the orders. So we who have only one phone have to compete with those who have 10 phones. I did a roadie app today, a roadie order, and what I found out was that there was at least maybe 10 people in the Home Depot parking lot. They weren't doing ready. They were just kind of waiting for opportunities to jobs. It was like a bunch of, I'm not sure who they were, but I took a bunch of pictures of it. It's not there for you to see, but one of the things that I saw many of them, and what they were doing was that they were just kind of waiting for opportunities to help load things into people's cars, looking for a job, looking for work. Man got to work, man got to do work, right? Because since we were kids, we've been told that we have to provide for our family, even from the Bible, from the scriptures, things that we hold dear to, and from other men in our lives, from grandfathers and the father before them. We were always told that we would be providers, and the ones that have to be out there to bring it and make ends meet. So one of the things that we find that if we're not working, we're finding a really hard time to kind of just sit down and do nothing. So, so we try our best to make ends meet and figure things out. But for the most part, though, we find it very difficult, and difficulty is part of the makeup of what we have to deal with. Sorry about that. So anyway, so what happens is like the mental health aspect of it, going out trying to catch a dragon and coming home with a mouse. That's not great. Sometimes you go out there and you're really kind of stressed out. But some of the best things about it is like when I would go out, I'd take my wife and my kids with me, each at different intervals. Like I go one day with my wife, one day with my son, one day with my daughters, and someday we all go together, and it would be such a really good event because I would learn how to spend time with the family and enjoy time with them as well. And that was great. I mean, not to spend time, but not to learn it. I just enjoyed it because we got a chance to like listen to the radio and make jokes and all kind of things. But what happens? The bots have come and they've taken away our jobs. Not to mention there's more people, so the saturation is there, fierce. So that kind of puts a toll on you because what do you do as a person? How do you deal with the situation? I went out today. I did some dashing today, and I spent like 2 hours of dashing. I had nothing. Came back with nothing until it timed out. And while I did roadie, I was able to do 4 orders with roadie today, and that was really good. So what we're trying to do to make ends meet, we're going to go ahead and try to do different things that'll help us and my family to be able to deal with some of the things in the meantime, like just go ahead and spend more time just like working together and doing stuff together, as well as promoting our art. Now we have more artwork coming up in the city in the future, and we're looking forward to doing that, so we're really excited about that. But you can help us by subscribing to our channel, subscribing to our channel, as well as helping us with some of the details about just helping us with some tough things, like just making sense of some of the tough things that we're going through by helping us, but just by praying for us, asking God for wisdom as to what to do. Not to mention just kind of keeping us in your prayers and thoughts. But for the most part, they're just one of those things. Just kind of you can help us out with that by just supporting us, supporting our art by clicking like and subscribe to this channel, telling your friends about what we do and how we are there, just pretty much bounty hunting and doing what we can, and how we do our art. So that's one of the things that we are really excited about. The fact that we don't know what's going to happen next, but when it does happen, it's going to be great. So like don't be like don't be a stranger. Definitely like and subscribe to the work that we do. We totally enjoy what we're doing, and we just love being able to make artwork and stuff for you as well. So yeah, so don't be like a stranger. Definitely keep us in your prayers. But for the most part, though, I'm going to go back into some more things. It's like again, we're gonna get through with everything. It's all gonna work out again. But we have something upcoming events coming up. We have some more art galleries in the wake. We also on its way. We also have more things that we're planning to do in regarding to art vendor type things. This Saturday we're gonna go to an art vendor meeting place. Next week we have something set up. We have more things. Also, we have classes that we teach and birthday parties. So we're able to do a lot of things. So that's one of the things that we're really excited about, how God's going to open doors for us and stuff. But for the most part, though, bounty hunter life, got to go get that bread. So you know how it is with the art. Go out there, do what you can. You got to go get that bread. And how you do it right, do it good. Make an impact. Do it all for the glory of God. But for the most part, though, go out there, get that bread. All right. So that's what I just want to say with you. So thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best. God bless you. Man, I'm telling you, this mask is hypoxia. It's hard to breathe in this thing. Woo, 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 woo. It really is. Man.